Hello everyone and welcome back to another reaction video. Yes, I know these have been done before. I know about Gen Alpha thing, but this is one of the first times I'm actually early or at least on time about a certain situation. And since it is our future generation and I do not have any other ideas what to post, I'm going to make a video about Gen Alpha or yeah, just these kids in general, because there's nothing better to I have nothing better to do except this. So because I'm straight up on TikTok and I am not going to do any editing, I don't want to, or at least as little as possible. I'm just going to, and I don't know how to pause. I'm just going to be on the screen whenever I'm commenting. I'm going to give credit to the people that are of these made these videos, like not about Gen Alpha, but like the ones that made the TikToks, because or at least keep their channel name, or go to their page and kind of give them a thing when, yeah. Anyway, let's go into it and let's talk about the.
As a teacher in 2023, I would just like to discuss Gen Alpha for a second. And no, I'm not talking about the whole iPad kid thing. That's a completely different discussion. What I want to talk about specifically is the emotional intelligence that some of these kids have, right? Like, I feel like they're being raised by a generation of parents that just, like, have been to therapy, are breaking those generational trauma cycles, ending it with them. And it really shows in some of these kids. Like, just the other day, two of my students were having an argument, right? And before I could even step up and intervene, kid one turns to kid two and just goes, listen, it sounds like you've got a lot going on, and I feel like maybe you're putting some of that on me, and I don't think we should have this discussion until we can both be calm about it. So let's just take a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it later. And I just, like, they're 10. They're 10 and 11 years old in my class. And, like, the way that they handled that was amazing. You know what 10-year-old me would have done? Cried. And then went and told the teacher. Like, what are they feeding these kids?
Alright, so this is the person that made the TikTok, and I guess that not everything about them is bad, because emotional intelligence is very important. Also, it's a very basic attribute that every person should have. But yeah, it's not only going to be good, it's also going to be some bad things. Yeah, and okay, yeah. Let's continue with the next one.
I'm an elementary school teacher, and students have accidentally called me different names. Mom, Mama. But today, I was called a name that I've never ever been called before. And this is how I know that I'm teaching a different generation, the Gen Alphas. A student today accidentally called me Alexa. I'm an elementary school teacher.
Oh wow, you can actually pause, but I'm still going to do the, here's the person's channel, well, not channel, but I'm going to use to YouTube. This is the person's TikTok page, whatever it's called, account, I'm not sure, but yeah, you should go check them out.
And students have accidentally called me.
Okay, so if I press on this side, okay. So, that is something. Like, you can hear, like, people are going to ask your mom questions, or anything like that. Because usually back in the day, including my time, we used to go to our parents and be like, Mom, what does insert word mean? And our mom would probably tell us. It's less likely to say dad, because there are not a lot of male teachers, especially here in Romania, where it's dominated by females, this job. And it has been for literally the whole history, all of history. So yeah, this, if you accidentally call your teacher Alexa, it's not good, because this already shows the issue that they do not ask their parents any questions anymore, and the parents maybe do not have the patience, or not necessarily the knowledge, but the patience to tell these children their answers. So they just ask their parents, and then the parents tell them to go ask Alexa if they have. and Alexa will tell them the answers to their questions when it should be a parent's job to do so, to be the child's encyclopedia or whatever, Wikipedia, before they go to school. I just feel like it's a bonding experience. I do not take whatever I say as real or legitimate because I'm not a psychologist. I am not trained for this, but is just my opinion and what I guess would be. If anyone does know, please do tell me.
iPad kids are out of control. Teachers all over the globe are reporting that Gen Alpha, which are the kids raised with this new age technology, are performing 2 times lower than their grade level.
I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level.
They can't read or write properly. Not only that, but the rate of teachers quitting has never been higher due to Gen Alpha's terrifying behavior, which is aggressive and defiant.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life.
I already have to say, I have heard about the thing that the children can't read and can't write, but really, this is something that, or at least in Romania, the reading and writing are like done in the 0th grade. The 0th grade is in Romania basically preschool. What I consider preschool is not kindergarten. Remember, preschool and kindergarten here are separate things. Preschool is a specific class that is taken before the 1st grade, and so basically you spend 1 year extra in school in Romania before you actually start classes, before you actually start the school program in the 1st grade, but you still do it in the building of the school. Either you learn how to write, but most of the time is that you're already supposed to know how to write and read. It's just that you're taught how to write in cursive and how to read cursive, not how to write and read. You should already know that by kindergarten, or being taught by the kindergarten, or by your parents. As you can see, these skills are not taught by the schools, are taught before, expected by usually the parents. And how, like, I'm still surprised how, because since I heard that in America or in Canada or both, that you cannot fail someone until they're the 10th grade. That's crazy. That's insane. In Romania, you totally can fail them from, I guess, the 0th grade if they're that dumb. If they can't. Like, the system goes like this. Yes, I know it's long on a single TikTok, but oh well. It's basically like this. You need to get a grade, it's still called a grade, when an A plus or whatever. In Romania, it's from 1 to 10. You need to get hired a medium, an average. There you go, an average of 5 included and up, or you are in danger of repeating the class. You do have to do a certain test in that subject to see. If you get the test in summer, you pass. If you get it, you don't, you can get it again in autumn and then pass to the next grade. But if you don't do it in both times, you repeat the class again. For example, if you're in 7th grade but you fail a subject, you fail both times the test thing, you gotta repeat 7th grade. There is no excuse. There's nothing. You do not automatically pass. Teachers can fail you, no problemo. And this is normal. This is how it should be. The child should know that there's a consequence of not learning, or a consequence of not being not respective. Sorry, I'm Romanifying my English here. It's not that they do not have respect for their teachers. Again, it can lower their grade. But this time is a grade on behavior. Usually on default is 10, but it can go down to 8 or 9 or 7 or 6. If it goes down at 6, you repeat the year. You repeat it. If not, If it goes down by 1 or to 9, you lose whatever money you're given by the government for studying, because you are, yeah. And you might also lose the ability to go to some law enforcement schools or anything that requires discipline, because of if it ends up being permanent. But it can be reversed. If not, and if it's permanent, then yeah, you kind of screwed up your life. So in Romania, discipline is important, because if you're not disciplined and the teachers do not stand by, or, because there's sometimes that like the teachers do not hesitate to drop your grade, your behavioral grade, let's call it, you will end up in trouble for your whole life. It ruins your life.
This is a direct result from unlimited technology access, poor values, emotional neglect, and lazy parenting. Because shoving an iPad to a kid's face to distract them from their emotional needs was the worst thing you can do for a human's development. Which, if you feel like you grew up with toxic parenting and need to heal, the amiga. But now we're seeing this whole technology thing through. Now these kids have no creativity of their own, their attention spans have dropped to 1 second, and they have unrestricted internet access. Do you know what porn, gore, and inappropriate content can do to a kid's brain? It can impair them for life. This is how a lot of psychopaths and people with extremely dangerous behaviors are created.
Well, yeah, and we can already see that. And not only that, but because these parents do allow these children to have these behavioral issues, this behavior, it is permitted and not necessarily desired, but is not prohibited, which is a problem, because again, it can ruin your life if in another country. I'm sorry about that. I had to pause, but as I said, if what I mean is, if in another country, if you actually were in another country, like in Romania, behavior like this can impair your whole entire career. You want to be a police officer? Well, because you weren't in 7th grade or 6th grade or whenever, doesn't matter. You weren't in a certain grade, you didn't have 10 at your behavioral grade, you cannot get in. You cannot get in certain jobs. You might, well, there are other jobs that you can totally go, but these law ones that make a lot of money. So, yeah, these ones. And make sure to check out this person's channel, because she seems like, because she knows what she is doing, and she does deserve the quality, because whenever I make TikToks, they're horrible quality, or at least they're not the best quality ever. But she is making good quality TikToks, as I've seen. Yeah.
And thinking
1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Look.
I'm sorry, I had to pause again, because thankfully, praise be the Lord. Yes, I'm going to praise the Lord, because He has answered all my prayers. It's new again in Romania. This snowing 3 times. Well, 4 times. 2 times last year, November 27th, and then December 7th. And then now 2 times again. Once on January 8th, and it lasted until sometime. And today. Which is very cool, very nice. Because this snowing so much, or at least 4 times, or more than twice a year, was something that I haven't seen since, like, I don't know, 2019 or whenever. So, this is again about getting attention in class, so let's continue with it.
If you can hear me, clap 2 times. If you see me and you're trying to say what's up. Perfect. Now today we're going to be discussing the Twitter to X transition and how to adjust to this monumental change. Who has their book open to chapter 4? All right, who's on TikTok right now?
I am.
Look up some cool science project and duplicate the one that got the most views.
Excuse me, I will wait. Hey, now y'all being so loud I can barely hear Miss Stewart on the other line. Hate it. Turn your card from Slave Queen Green to bombastic side-eye red. Look around, everybody on mute.
Honestly, I don't even really like this movie.
What's wrong with you? No. 3rd period won the mute challenge today. Y'all gotta try again tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was watching.
Get out of here.
Okay, this is a little bit more satire. These I'm going to keep in, I guess, for a little health, not health, but like funny break, I guess. because I'm going into this blind, so I don't really choose the TikToks. So, and yeah, I guess here just shows the affection on Gen Alpha of the internet, the internet's affection on Gen Alpha and their culture, which seems kind of weird, but nah. It's not as bad as the no attention span can't read and write situation. Check out this person's channel if you want to. This is their TikTok account. Sorry. Wrong one. Again, I'm doing it this time on TikTok because I can't... There's not really on YouTube any compilation of Gen Alpha stuff. So, yeah.
Alright, hey, alright. Spell restaurant. R-E-S, wait.
This is not funny. They do not sound like children. If they were children, and if they do not sound, they sound native English or American, or well, I suppose because Gen Alpha's popularity and stuff. I don't know. It gives America. It has the feeling that this is in America. So those do not sound like children. Why are they struggling with restaurant? Why are you asking them to do a restaurant? They should be able. They should spell other words, not restaurant, or at least be asked. They should be able to spell restaurant. It's concerning that you are asking what sounds like teenagers in puberty. Yeah, well, in the ages of teenage, in the teenage years and possibly in puberty, that, how do you spell restaurant? Are you really asking them that? That's a problem. Like, yeah. We should not laugh about this. This is not funny. Do check out their channel, because they do try their best to teach these children, but it is a problem that they does give more, but she does seem more like a female. Anyway, yeah, that sounded a little weird, but it's my idea. So it does not sound, at least she or they or whatever, are trying to teach these children to dumb it down to their level so that they can actually understand, which is very good. I say that teachers should have this ability to adapt to the child's needs, but the child should also have the responsibility to learn. It might sound old-fashioned, but it is true. They should have this responsibility to learn, and the adult, the parent, their legal guardian, should have the responsibility to ensure that the child is learning. Whether they want to or not, that's their problem. They gotta learn. Whether I like it or not, I gotta learn. Or I guess at least remember what you did in class.
Is going to be better parents than millennials. No, because we've seen how Gen Alpha is basically doomed, right? Like these.
Yeah, we have seen, which is good that we are the last generation before Gen Alpha. Like we're the second to last so far, because we have been able to see millennials and like basically they becoming the guinea pigs of parenting. Of the parenting science experiment, and we can just sit and look and just learn from what they do to not do and or to do depending on how good their parenting is. As you can see, shoving an iPad in the baby's face once they're 1 or whatever, and we did not react to any video of Gen Alpha babies getting iPads for Christmas, but there are a lot of people who have, so you can definitely check out. And I've watched a lot of Gen Alpha is doomed videos where babies are literally being given iPads when less than 1 or around the age of 1, which is not okay. For example, I do not want to give my child an iPad or an electronic device until they're 10. At least then, the worst that they can do is want creams for skincare products for Christmas. And then I can just say no, and I don't care their mental breakdown. But that's the most they can do. Like, it will not prohibit them from making new friends, because one, either everyone is already impaired from making friends, and or they already made friends, because children are way less shy than teenagers, as what I say. Like, children do have this ability to make friends if not impaired by electronic devices. This magic instant connection. Yes, I have already gotten this from a single fraction, but I totally agree with her idea, even though it's not the full video. Do check out her channel, because she does make a valid point, even though we only saw like a fifth of her video. And also, it is a count, I should remember this. Can't read, can't write, can't socialize. Yeah. Why is Gen Alpha, why, yeah. Like 9-year-olds and 5-year-olds knowing what Pound Town is, or other things. Do not mind if you hear any coughs. Mobizen isn't the best quality, and yeah, can't pick up everything if it's not internal sound. Anyway, so I have to pick up voices, so pretend like nothing is there. Anyway, maybe okay. So 9-year-olds. How do 9-year-olds and like 7-year-olds and children that do these things, they're supposed to be innocent at this point, why do they know about Pound Town? I haven't heard of Pound Town ever until like recently, like a few days ago. I've learned about Pound Town's existence, and I still didn't hear about it. I just know it exists. And I do not want to know the lyrics. Thank you very much. Like, I'm nowhere near innocent, since I know about Cupcake and Flop Tropica and everything like that. But it's something else when, like, a teenager knows this, knows about Pound Town's existence or anything like that. Or about the supposed, it is normal when a 13+ person knows about 13+ things, but not when 7, 9, 3, 5-year-olds, whatever, know about these. Like, yeah, this is why I'm not allowing them to get an iPad or whatever until they're 10. Because I'm saying like 10 is a quite good age, or 12, 10 or 12, depending on how much they want because they saw from their friends. How much. If they do not want it that much, we're not going to give them, except if they ask. But if they ask desperately, we'll give them at 10. If not, in just a few times, we're giving it at 12. These are the ages that I recommend people should. And even then, restrict TikTok till 13, because at least then, or let's say fine, whenever TikTok is then. And certain YouTube channels, because they're restricted until 13 to 14, when then you can start to let them freer, because they are going to be an adult, basically in like a few years, that will fly. So you gotta introduce them to the world slightly, or to the real world. But yeah, we protect them as much as possible until they can think for themselves, and it's not our problem whatever they do. But the idea is not necessarily for them to not know what Pound Town is. At 13, I do not, well, I should a little care, but how long their attention spans, if they can read, if they can write, if they can do all these basic stuff. It's basic stuff. And also get them babysitters. If you cannot have time for your children in America, just search how much does, or heck, you don't need a babysitter. Do you have a parent? Does your parent love children? Great. Send them to their grandparents. Send them to their aunts. Depending if your aunt, for example, wants to take care of their children and you can't, or at least you can for a period of time, give them to her for free, or at least for a lower sum of money, because she's your aunt or your sister. So if your sister or your mother wants and is able to take care of your children, and you are not, and you care about them, you give them to her, since older people will not shove an iPad in front of them. And if you raise them correctly, they will not ask for one. They will not need one. They will not have a tantrum. See? This is how you avoid the iPad. With the power of family. Yes, I managed to extend like a few TikToks to 25 minutes.
Hey, your mom wants me to send her a picture of you. Say cheese?
No, you can't post my picture to the internet. Stop!
But it's your mom, and she posts TikToks.
Stop, but look at my profile picture, and it's not my real name.
Okay, whatever, just take the picture.
No!
All she needs is proof that you're alive. What do you want to do, send her a TikTok?
Okay, sure, I'll film it.
What, really?
Okay, ready. Sticking out your gap for the Rizzler.
Why is it in 2x speed?
Stop asking questions. I'm the one who's supposed to be asking you questions, Alexa. You're so skibbity.
Did you just call me Alexa?
You're so Phantom Tag. Oops, yeah, sorry, that was a mistake. Yeah, this is perfect.
Alright, let me send it to your mom. Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Oh my god.
I'm feeling lonely.
And this is when the attention span and the thing goes away. Where it all is out of the window and they cannot hear you anymore. They're not alert about anything. Which is dangerous. Like your child getting into an electronic device and ignoring everything that's around them. You do not know how possibly they can end up dying if on the street, or they can get kidnapped. Yes, I'm going that route. Yes, I am. In Romania here, there's a higher, I guess, than usual crime. So I have crime rate, which I then, as a parent, I am able to justify, or at least to make it more normal, my fear that my child can just get picked up, even if the streets are safe, because the crime index is higher. And since in America there is also this fear that your child can be picked up, because literally there were cases of people calling the cops when other children were playing in the backyard or in the front yard, and the parents of the children supervised them from the inside. It is that bad. So then why let your child sit on electronic devices and literally cut off any connection to the world? Nothing matters. They basically won't even feel if they're hungry or thirsty. They'll just sit there and just watch whatever random colorful images they see, or videos they see, and just sit there. They might not even care if they just get picked up, if not, or get dragged or whatever, or maybe do, but they can't really do much at that point, than just to get kidnapped if you're not paying attention either. So yeah, it can be dangerous like that too, even if it might not be likely. It's totally a fear that's reasonable, and that it exists in America, and where this problem is possibly the most or the biggest problem is. Do check out this person's channel, because it did seem a little funny, and I guess, and also a little serious. I don't know, just check them out. Credits in the description. They have better quality TikToks than me, so yeah, I do not have any other reason, anything else to use to justify. Too young. Okay, yeah, this is just a meme. So I guess we can just skip.
Are you gonna lay on your...
Okay, also this one.
Can I go to the bathroom?
But yeah, I don't think I have anything more to do actually, because
We're almost out of food. How much?
every other one is just them, just some meme ones, which I guess they're also very good quality, so do check out their TikToks, but they're not what I've been looking for. These are the problems that can actually get your child killed. Well, yeah, because if you go on holiday or whatever and you give them iPads, and like they do have this phase where they just, or this symptom of the tablet, of the iPad, we just call it a tablet in Romania, where they just zone out and just stare into it, and like there's nothing going on, no perception of thought, nothing. They just isolate themselves. You know how fast you can get lost or get kidnapped or die, or all. Like get lost, then get kidnapped, then die, and so many other things because of this. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe a little unreasonable to death part, but still can be a thing. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm finally being on time with these, not necessarily trends, but going after one thing and then another and then another. But this is an actual problem, and millennials should learn, or at least the ones that are prepared to take this upon them, this challenge, while your children are still young, to rebuke them of their electronic devices and push them into social life. Push them into having friends. Push them. Because they do need to be pushed. They do need to be pushed in the right direction. But in the right direction, not in the wrong direction. So be not afraid to push your children into the right direction. And even if they're going to be screaming and shouting and crying and saying that they hate you, they do not as a child. And you do know that. Because we as children probably said that. I certainly did say that to my mom that I hate her. But I never actually hated her. I always loved her, and I still do. So it literally doesn't mean anything. We literally just used it to act like it actually, to make our parents feel sad and sorry for what they did, even though it never worked. So why should it work now? Because literally, they do not hate you. They may sound angry. They might say they hate you, but they will never. Or at least they will not if you do right things and help them and love them and everything and push them into social life and make them do things that are good for them, not necessarily that they like it. They will not hate you. They will love you and respect you. And yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go into this too much. I might make another video about this because I still have a lot to talk about, ramble about, and you to listen to my opinion and whatever. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to help if you have kids, do not give them iPads, please. And I'll see you in the next video. If I make another one of these, then I guess another one of these. And if not, Line Book to Chapter 6, which I did say that comes out on January 20th, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.